Okay, so when you think of a big bank, what comes to mind? Probably things like balance sheets, interest rates, maybe stock prices, right? But what if the real story, the true purpose of a financial giant, is found somewhere else entirely? In this explainer, we're going to look past the numbers of HDFC Bank to really understand what they're trying to build. So, let's start with a question. What are a bank's most valuable assets? You might think it's all about the money in the vaults, but this story suggests it's really about the impact that money can create. And here is where the story takes a really interesting turn. I mean, forget about bricks and mortar for a second. What if one of the most important things a bank can help build is made of ice? Well, the answer takes us high up into the mountains to Ladakh, a place that's facing a huge water crisis as its natural glaciers shrink. Through an initiative called Parivartan, the bank helps create these incredible things called ice stupas. They're basically man-made glaciers that store water in the winter and then release it in the spring, right when farmers need it most. It's an absolute lifeline for these communities. And look, this isn't just some small one-off project. What's happening in Ladakh is part of a much, much bigger picture. Across India, similar programs have brought sustainable water to over 750 villages. That just shows you the massive scale we're talking about here. But the impact isn't just about massive projects. It's also incredibly personal. Take the story of Sachin, a businessman who lost his leg in an accident. Through a partnership with the Jaipur Foot Initiative, he got a prosthetic limb, completely free. And this quote, it says it all. It wasn't just about getting him a prosthetic. It was about giving him his life back, his business back. And his is just one of thousands of similar stories. So you have these powerful examples, right? From glaciers in the Himalayas to giving someone the ability to walk again in Jaipur, these are not just random good deeds. They all point back to a single foundational idea. So what is the core mission that ties all of this together? And this is it. This is the bank's official purpose statement. And notice, it's not about being the biggest or the most profitable. It's about empowerment. It frames everything they do, from giving out a loan to building an ice stupa, as a way to help people improve their lives. It's all about creating stability and opportunity. So you have this big mission, but how do you actually make it happen? Well, it all rests on three main pillars: investing in their own people, using technology in smart ways, and building real, lasting trust with everyone, from their customers to the communities they operate in. All right, let's pop the hood for a minute and look at the engine that drives this whole thing. It really comes down to two key drivers that make this mission possible on a huge scale: people and technology. You can't build the future without investing in your team. And they are going all in here. They've launched things like the Gen AI Academy to get employees up to speed on artificial intelligence. And they have these leadership programs like The Alchemist and Project Elevate that are all about growing the next generation of leaders. Now, technology isn't just for making things run smoother on the inside, it's also a shield for customers. And honestly, this is one of the coolest examples I've seen. Meet Vigil Auntie. She's the face of a national campaign to teach people about safe digital banking. And she's not some generic corporate mascot. She's this culturally relevant character who speaks multiple languages to warn people about online scams in a way that actually connects with them. So, did it actually work? Oh yeah, the numbers are just, wow. 23 lakh followers. That's 2.3 million people. And an incredible 50 crore views. That's 500 million views. The impact was so big, it even won a Cannes Lion Award, which is a huge deal. It just goes to show how a smart, human-focused idea can make a massive difference. Okay, so from that one specific campaign, let's zoom back out to the big picture again. Let's talk about the bank's main social responsibility program, Parivartan. This is where we see that core purpose playing out on a truly national scale. And what's really important here is that this isn't some static set-it-and-forget-it program. It's alive. It's evolving. You can see how they're constantly trying to get better, from launching national campaigns like Vigil Auntie, to empowering smaller local organizations, to even changing their own team structures so they can have a bigger impact on the ground. So to really get a sense of this scale, let's just run through some quick numbers. First up, trees. We're talking nearly 80 lakh, that's 8 million trees planted. That is a massive contribution to the country's environment. Next, people. Over 105,000 young people have been trained with new, valuable skills. This is a direct investment in the country's future, creating real opportunities from the ground up. And, to bring it full circle, back to where this whole story started, Water. Over 14,500 water conservation structures have been built. That's a serious commitment to making the country more resilient to climate change. And this image is just a perfect visual for how all this comes together. This isn't just a cool piece of art. It's a community mural made from thousands of recycled bottle caps. It combines sustainability, community spirit, and local pride all in one shot. It's brilliant. So, we've looked at the mission, we've seen the impact on the ground. The last big question is, what's next? How does an institution this big prepare for the future of finance and, well, the future of society? You can see the answer right at the very top. There's been a huge shift in focus for the board. It's moving away from just the traditional day-to-day oversight of a bank and leaning hard into the defining issues of our time: generative AI, cybersecurity, and a really robust ESG, environmental, social, and governance strategy. And these aren't just buzzwords on a slide. They are concrete priorities. They're diving deeper into their ESG commitments. They're completely redoing their digital banking platforms to make them better. They're using AI to improve everything. And they are constantly strengthening their defenses against cyber threats. And all of this brings us to one last really big question. As banking, and frankly, just about every industry evolves, what really matters more? Is it the technology we build, or is it the lives that we change with it? The whole story here, from ice stupas to AI, suggests that maybe the most powerful technology is simply the one that helps us do the most good.